Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth Elrod and this is my story. Sorry this video is coming to you late. I have been very stressed because this is the last week of classes before finals week. And as you can see, I'm not taking care of myself very well. I got hair just everywhere. If you can see, I got a little bit of some shadow. Can't really see it too well, but it's there. And I got some scratches from a cat. That's this one's fault. This is Luna. She's my baby. I've had her for a while. She's like 4 years old. And then right now I'm also taking care of this one. This is Nugget. I've had Nugget for a while. Poor thing has scratches on his face too. See? Poor thing. Cause of Luna. Because she is a brat. She doesn't like having other people in the house. But anyway, I was racking my brain about what to talk about because I'm so caught up with school, and so I thought I would talk about school. I'm going to talk about music therapy, and I'm going to talk about why I joined the music therapy program at Ohio University. So, music therapy is the clinical application of music as a therapeutic tool in order to achieve non-musical goals, non-musical therapeutic goals. So, music therapy can be used to help people who have motor issues with hand-over-hand. Using music can actually help increase their range of motion. It can also help people who have communication issues through singing. It can help people who are autistic through socialization, through communication. There's a plethora of things that music therapy can be used for. I've heard of music therapy being used in NICU, PICU units. I've heard of it being used in just adult hospitals, children's hospitals, hospices, pediatric units. I said children's hospitals, but it's used in a medical sense, because it is a medical form of therapy. Music therapy has been around since, I believe, as a clinical field of study. In universities, it's been around since the 1940s. If I got that wrong, I am sorry to my music therapy faculty professors. I do know that Ohio University was one of the very first universities to have a music therapy program, and because of that, it is, I believe, one of the best in the nation, and music therapists who graduate from Ohio University have a very high placement rate. So, what do I want to do with my music therapy is, I guess, the big question. So, I've talked to y'all about my recovery. I've talked to y'all about drug addiction. When I was I guess I should start from the first time I ever used music in a therapeutic way. Technically, it wasn't music therapy. To be technical, music therapy has to be performed by a board-certified music therapist in a clinical setting. A lot of people think that music therapy would be like listening to music, but if there's no music therapist present, that's not technical clinical music therapy. Music can be therapeutic, and music can be healing, but that's not how clinical music therapy works. So the first time I ever did any sort of therapeutic music activities was when my dad was dying. He was in hospice, and there was a piano down the hall, and the weight of the grief that was coming is what got me to start playing. I needed something to distract me from the fact that my father was dying. So I started playing piano, and eventually people started hearing it who were in the hospice, and they asked me to leave the door open of the piano room so the other patients could hear it. I had family members come to me and tell me how much they appreciated my playing. And I guess that was the first time I had ever experienced music in such a therapeutic way. I had played music for my parents before, just to, for their enjoyment mainly, but that was really the first time. That and playing for my grandfather who had Alzheimer's. I would play songs that he would remember, and he would start humming along to it, and I could tell that he was reminiscing about where the song came from, because music is stored deep within our memories. So that's when I first started using it, music in a therapeutic way. When I was hospitalized for suicidal ideation, there was a piano in the recreation room where everyone would get together and watch TV or color or draw. There wasn't a lot we could do. I would play piano for some of the other patients in the hospital, and I would talk to them, and I would talk to them about what songs they liked, and what's their favorite song, what's their favorite artist, and I would play their music, and I remember someone telling me that I had a gift. One of those clients, he said, "You have a God-given gift, and if you don't use it, you're going to lose it." And that really resounded in me. I talked about how I don't believe in the Christian God, but I still believe in, just an all-maker, you know. So that, that resounded really, really deeply within me. That's when I realized that I think I wanted to be a music therapist. I had withdrawn from school at that point, but I can remember driving back to Athens from Portsmouth. I don't know what I was doing. I forget why, but I remember calling my best friend and telling him that I think I want to be a music therapist. That's when it all just sort of came together. I realized after I got clean, and after I had seen music being used in a rehab, that's when I realized that I wanted to use music therapy in a drug rehab. My experiences in music group, it was a group led by a counselor, but as far as I know, they hadn't had any music therapy training whatsoever. But, it was just music group. And we would talk about music, and we would talk about how music conveys moods, talk about our favorite songs, and discuss it. So it was also using music in a therapeutic way, and it helped me a lot. So when I got clean, and I knew that I wanted to go back to school, to finish a music degree, that's when I realized I wanted to do music therapy. So, here I am. Yesterday was the last day of classes for the spring semester. So, after finals this next week, I will have successfully completed 2 semesters, my sophomore year of music therapy. And I will be a junior in the music therapy program. And it's been it's been incredible. Um, so in music therapy programs, we, as the students, go to we go to these sites. They're called practicum sites. It's where we practice music therapy as students. Um, and there are organizations and homes all over the county, really, mainly around the city of Athens. And um, we practice music therapy there with the clients there, or the patients. My first semester, I was lucky to go to a place called HVCRC, Hocking Valley Community. Gosh, it's Community Recreation Center, I think is what the name of it. But essentially, it is a halfway home for teenage teenage people who were assigned male at birth, and who are, most of them identify as boys. I think all of them that were there identified as boys. But it's like ages 11 to 17, and we worked with them. Me and my group of other music therapists, we work with them on things like emotional recognition, um, behavior control, that sort of thing, because they had just gotten out of prison, juvie, and HVCRC is it's both a home and a school, and it's used to help get them ready to be back in society. When they complete the program there, they go back home and they go back to school and they finish up their schooling. If they complete their program at HVCRC. So it was really rewarding. I had some really, really good conversations with my clients, um, and it definitely reinforced the fact that I wanted to work with recovering addicts, because some of those kids, some of those teenagers, they had gone to juvie for possession charges. Um, and some of them would talk about doing drugs, and it just reaffirmed that that's what I want to go into. This last semester, before COVID hit, I was I was doing practicum at the Beacon School, which is it is the Athens County Board of Disabilities school, for children who have intellectual or developmental disabilities. And it was so rewarding, the time that I spent there. I only spent a little bit of time there because of COVID, because of other challenges that happened during the school year, mainly scheduling issues. But there was this one client who um, they had limited range of motion in their legs, and they weren't wheelchair bound, but they had they had very weak legs, and so they would sit down mainly, but they would like to swing their arms around, and so they were at the back of the class so that they wouldn't hurt anyone with them swinging their arms around. And we did this intervention with a TheraBand. For those of you who don't know what that is, a music therapy TheraBand, or a school TheraBand, is it's this huge, stretchy, colorful band. Just like a hair tie, only it's huge. You can stretch it between like 10 or 12 people. It's like a parachute, only it's a stretchy band. Um, and this client had trouble. I don't think this client had the socialization that they needed, afford that intervention because they were often being kind of left behind with the intervention. And helping this client, I helped them do hand over hand to grab onto the TheraBand and perform. And the way that they smiled at me, it made me, it just further cemented the idea that I wanted it to be music therapy. And I don't think it matters what I do in the future. I definitely want to work in addiction, but working with those kids made me realize that wherever I do my internship or wherever I get a job in the future, I think, I'll be happy where I am because of, I didn't feel uncomfortable there. A lot of people are uncomfortable around anyone with disabilities, whether they're adults or children. And I didn't feel uncomfortable. I felt like I wanted to know about these kids, and I wanted to learn about them, and I wanted to help them have the most therapeutic experience they could have, mainly through socialization, because they don't get a lot of that. A lot of people with disabilities don't have the socialization that they need. So, that's definitely an avenue I wouldn't mind exploring. So, yeah, I'm happy that I'm in this program, and even though the semester is ending, summer semester is right around the corner. Like, literally, I start classes again May 11th, so it's coming. But I'm excited. I really hope all this is over in the fall, because I really want to get back at it. If you're interested in music therapy and have any more questions, feel free to direct message me. Feel free to find me on Facebook, on Snapchat. Just hit me up, Feel free to go on the Ohio University site and look up the music therapy faculty. I'm sure they wouldn't mind any questions about the program. It truly is a fantastic program, and I'm really proud to be in it. I'm really proud to have been accepted into the program. I wear my Ohio University Music Therapy practicum polo with pride whenever I go to these sessions. So, okay, I think that's it for this video. I am very exhausted. It was really hard for me to even do this video because I'm just so utterly drained from school online and from isolation. So I hope these videos are helping you as much as they help me, because I know just even talking about stuff really helps me a lot. So feel free to ask me anything you want. Feel free to send me a message. Feel free to add me on Facebook. It's Elizabeth Elrod. And feel free to add me on Snapchat. It's Liz Elrod23. I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend, and take care. Bye.